welcome to SAT TV News. I am Larry LaRoque, your presenter. In our top stories, PM Skerrit accuses UWP members of accepting drug money. Former Haitian president may have ordered journalists killing. Vietnam sentences 30 to death over drug smuggling. And in sports, final teams qualify for Ribbon Black One Petro-Caribe T20 softball cricket competition. Details of these will follow. Welcome back. The Vekas Village Council recently held its 26th inaugural meeting in a bid to administer oath to 8 councillors. Villagers in the community voted for the candidate of their choice, who was on Thursday, January 16th, sworn into council.
I want to commend you, the people of Vekas, for ensuring that the democratic process took its course as you turned out to cast your votes for the candidates of your choice on election day. I want to encourage you to continue to give support to your council, since these 8 individuals cannot do it alone. The community of Vekas has been blessed with a stable local government system over the past 75 years and have attracted serious and committed individuals who have managed to keep the community involved in its development.
The council members who will run the affairs of the council for the next 3 years include Ms. Charlotte Joseph, Mr. Yolan John Jones, Mr. Brian LeBlanc, Mr. Peter Grano, Mr. Christopher Elise, Mrs. Stella LeBlanc, Ms. Agatha Ismail, and Mr. George Williams. Mrs. Stella LeBlanc, who served on the last council, was voted in for a second term as the chairperson of the council.
I want to thank God for affording me the opportunity to be here today, for without Him, nothing good is possible. I wish to congratulate my fellow councillors and my past councillors to express my gratitude to those who served with me during my former tenure. It was only through teamwork that we were able to accomplish as much as we did.
Honorable Gloria Shillingford, Minister for Community Development, Social Services and Gender Affairs, encouraged the councillors to continue in its positive work of the council.
Let me wish you continued grace and strength as you continue to lead the way with regard to performance, achievement, and example. Let me encourage you to continue to position your council as one which is exemplary in good governance and to pass on your experience to newer or less experienced councils.
According to Honorable Shillingford, local governance is one of the ways that government seeks to empower communities and to allow for the involvement of their own development. In more news, the first round of the Kiwanis national debate, which took place on Wednesday, January 15th, and saw the participation of 12 high schools, ended with 4 schools advancing to the next round. The Goodwill Secondary and St. John's Academy were absent, as they opted to withdraw until next year. The final scores were as follows: St. Martin's Secondary School 308, Wesley High School 297, Portsmouth Secondary School 300, Convent High School 231, Seventh-day Adventist 286, Isaiah Thomas Secondary 277, Pierre Charles Secondary School 297, Cassie Bruce Secondary School 239, St. Mary's Academy 252, Dominica Grammar School 247. The Northeast Comprehensive School and Orion Academy will automatically advance to the next round on February 12, 2014. In more stories, in giving back to the community, The Lions Club of Dominica hosted a free health fair on the grounds of the All Saints University on Saturday, January 18, 2014. Ms. Diana Angol, Membership Director of the Lions Club of Dominica, noted this event was also hosted with the aim of increasing their membership on the island.
This Lionistic Bureau, or District Governor in District 60B, has determined one of his core areas of focus to be increasing membership for increased service activity in the community. And he has mandated that each zone organize a new member symposium as a zone project to be supported by each club in the zone. The Dominica Lions Club falls within Zone 2C, which also includes the islands of Antigua, Montserrat, St. Kitts, and Nevis. The intention was that each island hosts a symposium on the same day, using the same format in the specific island. We therefore have planned to carry out this project during one of our service activities, a health fair, hence our being here today. The theme for today's event is shaping new beginnings with a Lionistic twist. New beginnings, we are the start of a new year when traditionally many people make New Year's resolutions, and shaping new beginnings.
She defined Lionism as when persons use their time to make a positive impact locally and around the world to help others in need, develop their talents, and network with fellow members of that social group. Ms. Angol stated, to be more impactful, the club needs more quality members.
Looking for members who are dedicated, committed to the development of community, and who are willing to offer their talents to service to the youth, elderly, and disadvantaged in our society. Incidentally, the district governor's theme is a passion for compassion, and we need passionate members who can help us to provide more hands for service, gain fresh ideas for service activities, spread enthusiasm for helping others. Being a Lion also allows you to help change lives, even if you do not have a lot of spare time. There are a number of membership categories that allow us to accommodate the different lifestyles.
Some of the benefits of being a Lion include being part of projects to assist others, to make a difference in your community, and making an impact worldwide. It also helps one develop leadership and communication skills, present travel opportunities, and meeting new people for professional networking while working hands-on to meet community needs.
Usually we have a feeding program where we go out to offer warm meals to the sick and shut-in, to the elderly. Sometimes we go to the communities where we organize a luncheon for the older folks. We do environmental projects, beautification. We do bus stops, rehabilitation, building and rehabilitation and maintaining of bus stops.
Currently, there are 33 members of the Dominica Lions Club and 15 members of the Leo Club, its junior club.
You are accepting money from them, from the drug dealers to campaign. We will never in this government, in the Labour Party, accept any money from any drug person to run campaign down. I will say to you publicly, I would rather not be in government than to take money from any drug dealer to run campaign down.
These were the words of Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, indicating that Dr. Thompson Fountain and members of the United Workers' Party accepted money from drug dealers to fund their tour in the United States. UWP candidate for the Grand Fan River-Siri constituency, Dr. Thompson Fountain, says the statement of Mr. Skerrit is false, as they had to dig deep into their personal finances to meet the expenses for their tour.
I don't know the Prime Minister is getting that, but I think he has to do better than make those wild allegations. He is the Prime Minister of the country, for goodness sake. This is not Tony Astafan. This is the Prime Minister of Dominica making those allegations. And unless the Prime Minister can, in fact, bring the evidence forward, I believe that we as the United Workers' Party have to seek redress through the court, because this is nonsense. You know, this is a desperate man, a man who understands that he's on his final throes as Prime Minister, that he's going down, and that he has to account for his deeds as Prime Minister and he's throwing all of this out there to confuse the public.
Dr. Fontaine stated, as a government, they will also investigate how Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit funded the 2009 general elections. He said it is very disturbing that the Prime Minister of this country would stoop so low.
Man, I've never handled a gun. I've never even handled a gun in my entire life. How can the Prime Minister look at me and say that drug dealers are coming to me for guns? I don't know how to buy a gun. I've never seen. I don't know how to use one, and it is absurd. And I think the Prime Minister needs to stop this nonsense. He is trying his best to distract the Dominican public from the tremendous success of this.
According to Dr. Fontaine, what they did with their tour of the United States was put an end to the only strategy Mr. Skerrit had to win the upcoming elections. In more news, the Discover Dominica Authority DDA will host a two-day conference focusing on the state of Dominica's tourism industry and establishing partnership to grow Dominica's visitor arrivals. The conference, which began today, will delegate these two topics of interest on the 2 days allocated for the discussion, Monday 20th and Tuesday 21st January. Mr. Colin Piper, CEO and Director of Tourism at the Discover Dominica Authority, said the conference is geared at areas of access and product development and will invite key stakeholders to gain an understanding of initiatives currently underway that offer partnership opportunities.
Focusing on these partnerships and how we can grow visitor arrivals to Dominica. We'll go into our marketing strategy and the tourism product and opportunities that exist for partnership with local suppliers and explain what they are doing to push the destination. The product offering, so to speak, and the hotel private sector will join to discuss the hotel product and partnership in marketing the destination.
The tourism vision of 2005 under the Tourism Master Plan, according to Mr. Piper, entails that they pursue sustainable tourism that enriches the life of all citizens, creating economic, social, and cultural opportunities.
And in 2005 to 2015, or rather the Tourism Master Plan of 2005 to 2015, the objectives for 2015 as they relate to stay-over visitors, cruise passengers, visitor expenditure, and investment projections are illustrated. And if we, it was stated then that if we grew at a 3.5% annual growth rate, the projections for stay-over visitors by 2015 were 100,000.
Cruise passengers, according to the projection, would be 400,000, which would contribute $250 million to the economy, characterized by minimum risk, investments, and returns. Meanwhile, Honorable Ian Douglas, Minister for Tourism, says this conference is long overdue. However, he hopes that it continues annually or even more frequently.
Over the course of the next 2 days, you will get updated about access, destination marketing, product development, and the need for more and better public and private sector collaboration in order to grow our industry and increase its contribution to GDP.
In other stories, 2014 Queen contestant Miss Francine Barron received an exceptional greeting when she graced the stage at her official launch on Saturday, January 18th in the community of Granby. Miss Barron, a resident of the Granby community, brought enthusiasm to the stage when she addressed the constituents and other supporters present.
If somebody would sit and listen to me talk about Granby, they would say, "That boy Francine, after Granby is placed, Ipani dot." But tonight you came out and you showed them that every time I talk about Granby, I am right. And every time I say Granby supports their own, I was right. And when I say Granby will take this stage and show that Nukone big, on the night of the 20th, I will be right.
Ms. Barron went on to thank her sponsor, Detroit Tires Incorporated, who came forward as the Queen contestant's official sponsor. She is the first contestant to receive full sponsorship. The Queen contestant will operate behind the theme, Youth Empowerment and Development in Reaching Your Highest Achievements. Honorable Justina Charles, Parliamentary Representative for the Granby constituency, in her address says, as Parliamentary Representative, she will fully support Ms. Barron.
Yes, I wonder what else can I say. I do not want to preempt, but I can say, and I want to encourage every one of us here, every one of us who will invite other persons to be in town on that night. And as she rightly said, if we have to take the wheelbarrow, we better take it and get there. And we have to begin to put our little money on a side so that we can buy our tickets and we can pay our bus. As your parliamentary representative, I can tell you, Francine, I will play a part in ensuring that some young people are in Rosa with you that night.
Meanwhile, at Point Michel, Ms. Joelle Brown met an equally appreciative crowd at the official launch that same day. Ms. Brown will administer under the platform, internalizing wellness and fitness as a lifestyle.
I plan to take part in different activities in the community, such as helping to form a younger group for footballers, especially our younger girls. We want to get them in the program as soon as possible, and our other sports such as volleyball and netball, and help Point Michel to become a thriving community on the map of Dominica in more than one aspect.
The Miss Dominica Carnival Queen Pageant will take place on February 20th, 2014 in Carnival City at the Pottersville Savannah. In related stories, contestant number 2 for the Miss Dominica 2014 pageant, Michalina Samuel, was made to feel like a queen when she was officially launched in a community of Stock Farm on Sunday, January 19th, 2014. Events Director of the Dominica Festivals Committee, Ms. Natalie Clark, described Ms. Samuel as a talented, intelligent, and social young lady.
Suffice to say that on the night of February 28th, Miss Dominica is looking for Stock Farms support, the busloads that are going to come down and represent Shalina and give her that wind beneath her wings when she gets on the stage and she has a little nervous moment. She'll see everybody cheering for her and making sure that she feels welcome, even though it's a competition.
Parliamentary Representative for the Rosa North constituency, Honorable Julius Timothy, confirmed his support for Miss Samuel, saying, whatever it takes for her to win the crown, he will do. Miss Samuel stated participating in the Miss Dominica pageant, for those who may not know, has always been one of her childhood dreams.
With my voice and participation in this prestigious pageant, I intend to bring hope and contribute positive self-identity to the lives of the Stock Farm community. Hence, my platform being positive self-identity. Coming from the small community of Stock Farm, which is the location of our state penitentiary, I have witnessed the consequences of surrounding oneself with negativity. However, I have chosen a more optimistic approach and chose to focus on more substantial aspects of my community. For example, the most prestigious educational institution on the island, the Dominica State College. I am urging you all, everyone here, my fellow Dominicans, to join me in continuing my journey to the throne with our voices and our hearts united in spreading and encouraging positive self-identity.
In related stories, the streets of Roseau resembled the opening of Carnival Street Parade on Sunday, January 19th, as residents of the city and environs turned up in large numbers to show their support for contestant number 5 in the 2014 Miss Dominica pageant, Miss Scotiabank Donella Riviere. Creative Director of the Waitukubuli Dance Theatre, Mr. Raymond Lawrence, stated, Miss Riviere, who was part of the group, distinguished herself as a dancer, working her way from beginner to senior level. Senator Alvin Bernard, who was also part of the launching, praised Miss Riviere for her involvement in dance groups.
I believe Donella has the temperament, she has all the necessary qualities. No disrespect to your fellow contestants, but I believe that Donella has what it takes to be Miss Dominica 2014. And it is only because Donella has what it takes, it is because of that so many of you have gathered here this evening. It is because of her own character that so many sponsors and patrons have come to her support.
For her participation in the pageant, she hopes to raise awareness on dance as a form of exercise. She noted that she is grateful for her sponsors and family showing their support towards her participation in the pageant.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am ready. Are you? You cannot be, we know how to live. So let's mark our calendar, February 28, 2014. That's a date to remember. Thank you.
And in court news, the second man accused of robbing the Woodford Hill Credit Union of $40,122.03 on 9th January 2014 has been formally charged. Lord Rick Alwyn Bruno appeared before Magistrate Bernard Paquette on Friday, January 17, 2014 and had the charge read to him. He could not plead. The prosecution objected to bail on the count that Bruno was a flight risk and over $5,000 of the money had not been recovered. The prosecution also objected on the ground that the firearm used during the incident had not been found. The magistrate informed Bruno that he would allow the police time to continue their investigations and his bail was closed at the time. On Thursday, January 16, 2014, Bruno's co-accused Kelvin Joseph of Quenfield was denied bail on the same grounds. The men will appear at the Wesley Magistrates Court on 20th March 2014 for the preliminary inquiry. Both men are represented by attorney Wayne Norde. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.